Hello, Crossroads students. Can you even believe that we have another e-learning day a week from the last one that we had? This is Miss Westfall again from Team 4, but I'm sharing this with all of my language arts buddies to share with you. Um, I want to let you know a little secret. I'm filming this on Friday afternoon. So I don't know what's going to be happening this weekend. In my mind, I'm very excited. I'm hoping and predicting that we'll have a lot of snow just because it's fun. Um, so it'll be interesting to see when you actually hear this video if you're like, hello, yes, we had snow, we have 8 inches, or if for some weird reason the storm skips us and everything's fine. So I hope that you are ready for another e-learning experience, language arts experience. We're going to be doing something that I think you're all pretty familiar with at this point. But let me give you a little hint. You know that when we see you next week, I'm assuming I'll see you next week, or you'll see your language arts teachers, that we're going to have our Unit 3 test. We've been working all this part of the 9 weeks working on Unit 3, focusing on text structure, rhetorical devices, and making sure that we understand the importance of different sentences and paragraphs in different informational texts. Really looking for that rebuttal, counterclaim, claim, reasons, evidence. So we're going to just do a little review here to make sure that you completely understand your rhetoric devices. Sorry. And then the last slide, I'll tell you exactly what your assignment is. So let's look over here. I know that you've seen this before. This is, of course, we're going to be talking about ethos, pathos, and logos. I've heard other teachers call it ethos, pathos, and logos. So really, you could just kind of however you best to know it. But we're going to start with ethos. Remember that the whole point of having rhetorical devices is that you are trying to persuade somebody of something. So we're going to start with ethos. I'm going to show you some important words to help you remember this device, and then, I left you a little sneak peek of what we're going to watch. We're going to watch a commercial that you can kind of look. In addition to reading, you can also view these devices, so you can kind of see if this matches up to the definition. So ethos we know means credibility, trustworthiness. We use trustworthy people, like well-known people, including celebrities, / comma, athletes or influencers. These people have confidence and they're citing credible sources. So let's see if this is a good example of ethos. Okay, so let's go back here and talk about it for a minute. So I know that Drake is an artist, a rapper, a singer, a celebrity, if you will, and I interpret that commercial to mean that by drinking, oh no, come back, that by drinking Sprite, you are going to be successful and it's the best thing to drink because he drinks it, and you will know, you will become powerful, and you will become smart, and you'll become rich and famous. Even though we know that's not true, it's still, if that's somebody that we like an athlete or something that we like, that's what we think of. So we think of ethos as being someone who is an expert. All right, let's look at the next one. Any ideas what it is? All right, let's see. Let's see if it's going to let me. I couldn't get it full screen, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Pathos, emotion and values. So this means purposely evoking or making you feel certain emotions to make people feel the way the author wants them to feel. Or in our case, with our examples, the director or the writer of the commercial. And you use words and pictures. You could use gestures, facial expressions, any of those kind of things to show emotion. So let's see this example, and you can see if this reminds you of pathos. Oops. Keep watching those are the announcements. You've read pushing it. Okay. When I first watched that commercial, the very first time, I didn't completely know that it was a car commercial. And I was afraid something was going to happen to that sweet, precious dog. But I was happy that it was just kind of making us get all in our feels about how sweet the dog is and how special and important that relationship is. And by the way, I'm trying to get a full screen, and I bet a lot of you are going, just do this, but I'm afraid it'll mess up the video. So, you can just see my classical jazz videos. All right, the last one. Do you know what it is? Do you know? It is, ta-da, logos. So for logos, we have logic and reasoning. So we have logos, and logic. It helps us think of things that just make sense. Reason, intellect, utilizing data, expert testimonials, cause and effect, and structured evidence to build a compelling case. So let's see what we learn here. Okay. I just know I know one student of mine at least is yelling at his computer, telling me how to make it full screen. Okay, so logos, logic and reasoning. Did you notice that we saw some statistics and we saw evidence? We even saw a little bit of comparing and contrasting. We saw charts and bar graphs, so I think that definitely would qualify for logos, showing us the logic of what's going on. Okay, so this is just a little kind of one-pager review. I love to use the E in ethos for E in ethics. That helps me remember. establishing personal credentials and getting your audience to trust you. For P for pathos, thinking of pity with pathos. It also makes me think of feelings and emotional response. And logos goes with logic, arguing based on reason and facts. All right. So let's give you a chance to see if you can do this on your own. And again, obviously we have this in our reading, but I just thought for e-learning it might be kind of interesting just to see some examples because there's some kind of big sports thing coming up pretty soon. Oh yeah, it's the Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, we definitely know that the Super Bowl commercials are really huge and important that are shown. So when we think of teaching this, it's interesting to see commercials because a commercial is nothing more than somebody trying to get someone to do something, and that equals the rhetorical devices. Okay, let's see if this can pop up. Yes, there we go. What's this? Okay, so what did you think that was? We had a definite expert sharing information with the field, with us, and letting us know. We had good information. We would call that, are you yelling ethos? Because you are right. That one is ethos or ethos. All right. Thank you, expert dentist. All right, let's see this one. See if you can figure this one out. I think that one's really interesting in that the commercial doesn't, of course, use sound except for the music, but it's got a very powerful message that it's giving. You think you know what it is? It's definitely something that's very logical, like logos. So that's what that one was. So yes, this is process of elimination, what the next one's going to be, but it's a really fun one. So let's see what's next. Ta-da! This one is my favorite, I think. That one just makes me laugh. But if we look at the rhetorical devices, it definitely brought some feelings to my mind for pathos. And the feelings it brought would be I felt anxiety. I didn't know who was going to win that fight or if there was going to be a fight. And of course, when it first started, it made me think, oh, that's cold or adorable and cute. And so all of those kind of made me think, oh no, what's going to happen? So maybe I need to eat I'll eat KFC because that's the main bird in that commercial who kind of won. So pathos for feelings. Okay. Bye, chicken. All right. So this is just a quick infographic to remind you. Ethos is credibility. Pathos is emotion. Logic means logos. And, some of these words are synonyms for some of the words we used previously, but they all mean the same thing. Expert and credibility go together. Feelings and emotion go together. And logic right there. Logic and logos go together. Okay. Now, dun, da, 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 here's what you're going to do. Your teacher is going to post a Google form for you that has examples and information from this slideshow. After you finish your Google form, then your language arts teacher wants you to spend, and for my students, want you to spend 10 minutes in progress learning in either your personal study plan or in liftoff with rockets if you have rockets. You know how to do this. This is something we're going to be doing even more second semester because these are really good skills to practice. So 10 minutes we would need to see for Monday for this assignment, at least. If you want to keep going, rock on. And then you have some optional ideas. You can read your library book or a book at home. You can read a magazine at home. Just do some reading. You can look over your notes and your practice activities you've done for the Unit 3 test for rhetorical devices, text structures, and analyzing text for structure. Again, you'll be taking that test the next time we see you, which we don't know when that'll be. Because remember, it's just Friday, and I don't know how bad it is right now because it's Monday. But I hope that if we do have snow, which I hope we do, I hope that you have so much fun playing in it, or should I say snow much fun playing in it, and just being in it and enjoying. We just really love to have a fun snow day here in South Carolina because it doesn't happen often. So it was great doing some e-learning with you today. Maybe you'll have another day tomorrow. Maybe you won't. Who knows? There's the announcement. So that means I'm going to car duty. All right, everybody. Go have fun with the snow, but also do your work. Progress learning, Google form, read, study, do the things you know you need to do. All right, bye.